we are making use of extract. Then after extract, what's the next thing? I said we are making use of ELT. Extract, load, and transform. So now we've extracted, we've loaded the stuff. We want to transform. So let's, okay. Some features might be lost if we save this workbook. Okay. Don't worry, we'll save as yes. Now you can see this data set. Without we've not commenced cleaning. Just check the data set. That's it. You can check before you even start cleaning. Check this data set. Is this clean? Is this clean? You are having minus here, minus all through here. That is empty cell for you. You're having, let's auto fit everything so that we can see it clearly. Now you can see this. We are having manufacturing price. Okay, this is still okay. Currency. Now if you come here, you can see this is in general, the discount, and here is in currency. We're having empty here, empty. And here we're having currency all through. Okay, we're having currency. If you scroll down, currency. Now, if you check very well, you can see that those ones from the, if you check this part, you can see we have empty. But when we got to this part, you observed it is in currency. Check this format. That's what I'm saying. I'm just showing you. We'll do the cleaning. I'm just showing. You can see here we have in general and it's empty. But after that, to this point, then from here downward, you can see this is in currency format. So that is an empty cell. So what do? We need to check something out. So you need to understand your data sets very, very well. You need to understand your data. We have segment, country, product, discount band, unit sold, manufacturing price. So now, unit sold, manufacturing price, gross sales. We have sale price. Manufacturing price is 3 naira. Sale price is 20. So you can see this is a very good financial data set. It has everything needed. Now, unit sold. This unit sold, to me, I believe this unit sold is supposed to be in figures because unit sold means numbers of goods sold. Yes or no? Finances people, is that not it? Financial people, is that not it?
Yes. Yes.
So, which means there's an error here. I'm just explaining. See, I did not know. This is the first time I'm opening this data set with you guys. So, it's not that probably I've checked. No, I've not checked. So now, see this kind of data sets now. Unit sold is in dollar and it's supposed to be in figures. I'm just explaining. You know, we've not even used Power Query and I'm just trying to, this one is without Power Query. So that when you understand what your data set looks like, you will know what you are changing. Unit sold is not supposed to be in currency, it's supposed to be in numbers. Because, and unit sold is your manufacturing price went from sale price. Manufacturing price is the manufacturing price. I'm on the bottom. Now, sale price is how much? 20 naira. So how do you get your gross sales? That is sale price times unit sold. You've forgotten our calculation. This is normal finances. It's not even calculation. It's normal finances that you should know. That is how they got their gross sales. Now, how did they get their discount? How did they get their discount? How do we understand? How did they get their discount? Anybody? I want to see whether you understand this data set. This is the first time I'm saying this data set too. So now we have 276.15 as discount. And we have what was it called? 27,615. Okay, let me freeze this. I taught you how to freeze your column now, your headings. You highlight everything. You come to your view. Under your view, you will see freeze pane. You click on freeze span. You will see freeze span, freeze stop row. You see freeze stop row. So if I'm scrolling, I'll still see my heading. So now let's check discount. How did they get the discount? We have 332 here. We have 33,210. You already know how they got the 33,210, so I don't need to explain that. So how did they get discount? How did they get it? Anybody? Anybody? Mathematician?
We are just hearing you. We did not hear like what you said from the beginning.
No. Wait. From which beginning? Did you understand how, when I explained gross sales?
No, we did. I did not hear you.
Ibidun, can you hear me? Or is it Fumbi alone so that I can know? Ibidun, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so let me just quickly recap. Then we have less than 30 minutes to proceed. So now, how they got to gross sales? I said your unit sold. This unit sold is supposed to be in whole number, and they wrote it in currency. That is number one mistake. You write that down. Anything you observe, you write it down. That's your number one thing that you need to do, which is this unit sold. Then after that, if you check, which means how did they get gross sales? Gross sales is unit sold times sale price, the amount they sold it times the unit sold. That's how they got their gross sales. And gross sales is same thing as sales. That is that. Then another thing we need to correct is this. There's an empty cell here, which is either we change to 0 or we confirm how they got it. And that's what we are trying to calculate here. So I now said, how did they get this discount? How did they get their discount? They got their discount, that is divided by 100. That is how they got their discount. That is how this discount was calculated. Divided by 100. Divided by 100. That is how they got their discount. That is a discount on each. So if you observe 27,615 divided by 100, we have what? This. That's 4,440 divided by 100. We have 344.40. So that is how they got their discount. So which means we need to initiate the same calculation here to get our discount. Are you getting it? So this can be empty. So if you understand the calculation of your work, it will be easier for you to know what you're doing. So that is one thing you need to first of all check. I saw a particular post of someone trying to on data analysis. The person is a data analyst trying to explain how rough a data set was. So, and she was explaining. She did not even move to Power Query. She was using calculation for because it's the financial data. You must understand your data. If it is a financial data, you need to take your time and check the calculation. So what are we going to do to do that? The first thing is that so far you already know it is gross sales divided by 100. You know it is gross sales divided by 100. So what do? You use our formula to do that. Normally, you can change this to your currency anyhow you want to do it. You can change it to your currency, everything all together. So everything is in currency first. I'm not using Power Query this time around. I'm using this normal stuff. So you change everything to currency so that it will be easier for your calculation to work. Now, this thing now, you delete it because as you are saying it, it is in symbol. So I want to delete. So I want to delete this because it is, don't forget, I've turned it to currency. So it's showing as just normal symbol. So we clear content. So after clearing content, you can see everything is cleared. Then we input what the calculation is, which is equal to open bracket gross sales, which is H2 divided by 100. That was how they got. You close your bracket, you press enter. You can see. Then you autofill all. Now we're having another issue. This one is having error. What's the error? So we check. What's the error? The value used in the formula is the wrong data type. What is the error here? This you can see again. Hello? Yeah?
That I'm not seeing the screen that you are sharing though. I'm not seeing anything yet. Like
Oh? Sorry, is anybody not having the same issue? Is anybody having the same issue? Ibidun, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, this is what we have on. Try to reload, go off and come in back again. Is that clear? Is that clear? Odoayo. Okay. So now you can see. Do you know what happened here? What happened here where we're having value? Don't forget, that was why I told you you need to understand. Now, if your work is if you are working on figures and is on the left hand side, you can see this is on the left alignment and this one is right alignment, which means the data type for this is different from all these. So automatically you change the data type for everything to currency. It's still having, you get, so you change it to currency and you are still having the same issue. So it's showing as 5,029,550, which is not supposed to be. So the best thing I would advise you to do in this kind of scenario calculations like this, the best thing I will just tell you is, what are you going to do? Your gross sales. How did they get your gross sales? You already know how they got your gross sales. So the best thing I will just tell you to do is what? So far you know your gross sales, how they got the calculation. Do your calculations here and autofill everything. So it will be easier for you. Then everything will be accurate. Like this now, 1,513 times 350. Let's do the calculation. 1,513 times 350. We're having 529,550, which means this is wrong. So in this kind of financial data now, cleaning it takes time. So the best thing, you need to just be patient. Make sure you convert everything that involves figures, convert it to currency automatically. Convert everything that involves figure, convert it to your currency. After doing that, you know you've converted everything. Then make sure your work is accurate. This one now should be in whole number. You know, we are not even using Power Query this time around. I'm just explaining general using the normal Excel. So this one, unit sold. Unit sold is in number. You leave it in number. Unit sold is in number. You leave it that way. So with that, you are getting the manufacturing price. This one can still be in dollar. Sale price is in dollar. Now, your gross sales, you do your calculation and you autofill. What is your calculation? You do your calculation here, then you autofill so that you can know everything is accurate. So how do you get your gross sales? Equal to, that is unit sold times sale price. That was how they got it. So equal to, then in brackets, E2 multiply by our what? Our sale price, which is G2. Then close your bracket and press enter. I've gotten this as 32,370. I want to fill. Good. Now you can see everything is accurate now. Can you see any errors there? No errors. So your discount, you can't see any errors again. You see everything has been filled up. So when you're not done with the two, what else? You come to your sales. Sales is same thing as gross sales. So what do? Will you remove one? And this your gross sales is this sales is wrong. So far your gross sales is the same thing as sales. Which one do you want to do? Let's remove sales because we don't need it. So you delete the sale. We are getting there. Now cost of goods sold. What is the cost of goods sold? How did they get their cost of goods sold? They got 16,185. Normally, that is not how the cost of goods sold should be calculated. Don't forget, I told you, so far you know your calculation, you will know how to clean a financial data so well. So now, let's do the cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is calculated by what? Which is, how do you calculate cost of goods sold? Unit sold times what? Times manufacturing price. That is the cost of goods sold. Unit sold times manufacturing price. So 1618.5 times manufacturing price for this is 3. So it's supposed to be, so this is wrong also. So what do you do? Cost of goods sold here is supposed to be manufacturing price times unit sold. So what do you do here? You erase this, you use your normal formula, which is you are multiplying manufacturing price times unit sold. That is how to get cost of goods sold. So equal to in brackets, what is your unit sold? E2, then multiply by what? By manufacturing price, which is F2, close bracket, you press enter, then you autofill this one also down. You autofill this also down. This is accurate. You can see this one, everything has moved to right alignment, so it is accurate now. Also, okay, let's leave it this way. So it is accurate this way. So it is accurate. So we have this accurate. Now profit also, it is wrong. You see the profit also is wrong. Your profit should be your gross sales minus the cost of goods sold should give you your profit. Yes or no? That is the calculation. So what do? it will be uh, gross sales minus cost of goods sold. Do you see why you need to understand your calculation so well? So you have equal to, what is my gross sale? My gross sale is H2 minus, what is my cost of goods sold? That is J2. Close the bracket. You press enter. So with this now, I want to fill down. You just double click on that thing. It has been auto filled. So we can now see that this thing is perfect now. We've done cleaning of this financial data to a particular point. At least with this now, you can see the data set is so fine and accurate. So you can proceed in your analysis in this kind of data set because you've perfected everything. This is in date. So now if you start checking, you can now start checking one by one to see. So if I click on my segment, you can see this is accurate. There's no empty cell, is accurate. But if you now feel okay, instead of you scrolling down, what if you're having 1 million rows? Will you now be scrolling down to check? What do? You turn it to table. How do you do that? You control A everything. You press control A after clicking on one. You control A everything. Then what do you now do? You format as table. You click on format as table. You can pick any style you want. If I click on format as table now, you can see where is the data of your table. My table has header. You click on it. You press OK. So with this, it will be easier for you to see anything you want to see. You see, we are not using Power Query here. We are using a normal stuff to run cleaning. This is normal Excel using it to clean data sets, a financial data set. So it will be easier for me. I will just click on this filter button here. I'll just click on this filter button here. So after clicking on the filter button, it will be easier for me to. So after clicking on the filter button here, it will be easier for me to see everything I have. So I can see, you see, we have everything here. There's no empty cell. You can see. So it will be easier for you to check your data sets to see if it's accurate. Now, Canada, France, Germany, Mexico, everything is accurate here. Product, same thing for products. There's no empty cell. If there's empty cell, you will see none. Now you can see, okay, this one is discount band. None is not an empty cell. If it's empty, you will see blank, but none is just part of it. We have high, low, medium, none. Unit sold, check unit sold also. Do you see any empty? Good. This is accurate. You can see your data is clean just using normal Excel. So you can see there's no empty cell here. Everything is accurate. There's no empty cell. So with this now, we are getting there. We are good to go. This financial data is clean. All because of what? You need to follow the procedure. What is the procedure? You need to understand your finances so well. When you understand your finances, it will be easier for you to do any cleaning you want to do. Now, checking everything, you can see there is no empty cell, there is no errors in this data set, and this data set is accurate and is perfect to proceed in cleaning. So, in this kind of data set now, it will be easier for you to do your cleaning, to do your analysis. So, with this, we are actually good to go. You see your date is, now this date give us a format to check 2014, 2013 and the like. So with this, you are good to go. So everything is accurate. Everything is accurate. Your month name is in normal stuff. We have year, your year. So now, let's now say they now ask you a simple question without you even doing analysis. That is using this table format. You should check. They want to know how many, you've not started analyzing it. You just want to check. You want to know how many how many products do you have in Canada country? Probably products sold in the Canada country. What do? If I click on my country, I uncheck this selector. If I click on Canada, if I press OK, you can see it's displaying only products we have on Canada. So with this, I can see that this is the product I have in Canada. You can see. So I just want to check for Canada alone. This is it. So same thing, you select all back and you click on it. Then if you now want to run, you want to sort A to Z, Z to A, that is, you want it to be in alphabetical order. What do? If I want to use product to sort, I'll click on my product part. I'll click on that arrow beside. You see sort A to Z means A from alphabet A down to Z. This is alphabetical order. You can see sort Z to A from Z down to a descending order. You can also do your text filtering to text. Probably the one that is equal to the one that I end with custom filter. You can text your filter. You can check those kind of. So if I want to use my text filter, for example, let me use unit sold so that I can use figures. So if I click on these figures, I want to check number filters. This equal means you want to filter only those that are probably units sold in probably a particular amount. Now let me bring this back to the normal A to Z, for example. So if I want to check, probably I want to just look for units sold that is probably, I want to filter out those that are above 100. The units sold that are above 100. I want to filter them out. What do I do? You can see equal. Equal means equal to 100. That is just equal to 100 to bring them out. So if I click on equal to, you can see units sold equal. What is equal what? You can come here to select or you type anyone you want. So let me use 200 for example. Now, and that is use units sold equal 200. And do you want to, and probably does not equal or is greater than. So if I say is greater than, same thing 200. I'm using, which means I want to bring out, I want to filter a unit sold that is equal to 100 and greater than 200. So if I click on OK, you see there is no unit sold in that particular order. That's the reason why you can't see it that way. So you can decide on anything. If it is greater than, you know the meaning of equal to. Equal to means directly the one that is 200, and there is no 200. If you check, there is no 200 directly here that is equal to 200 all through. We have 2050, 321 and the like. So now this is how you run your stuffs. This is how you run your number filtering to filter a particular. If I want to do greater than, so I click on greater than and the like. So now another thing, we have top 10. Let's say for example they ask you, let me use the one, okay, they said you want to check profit made, that is profit that was made, profit around you want to know around 10,000 and the top, let's say top 5. You come to your number filter, you come to where you have top 10, you click on top 10. Now top, what are you looking for? 5. Top 5. Which aspect do you want to use? Is it items? Is it percent? It depends on the one you want. So if it's items, I click on items. If I press OK, it will give me the top 5 based on items I'm using. So you can see. So this is how you run your how you run your filtering using the normal Excel format. So you can just clear filter for profit, everything will be back to normal. So now this is the aspect